In the hustle and bustle of daily life, it's easy to overlook the small, everyday miracles that surround us. We often associate miracles with dramatic, life-altering events. The healing of a terminal illness, the sudden rescue from danger, or the turning of an impossible situation into a testimony of faith. While these are indeed powerful displays of God's grace, there is another type of miracle that happens quietly and consistently. God's daily intervention in our lives. God is always at work, even in the smallest moments of our day. Divine intervention isn't always about parting the Red Sea or partaking in extraordinary events. It can be found in the quiet whisper of peace when you're overwhelmed, the unexpected kindness from a stranger, or the way your day turns out better than you could have imagined. Recognizing these subtle interventions allows us to deepen our connection with God and appreciate the many ways He moves in our lives, even when we least expect it. Divine intervention often shows up in the form of guidance, protection, or blessings that may seem small at first, but carry significant meaning. For instance, have you ever found yourself in a difficult situation, only to have the right solution or help come at just the right moment? That's God at work. It might seem like a coincidence, but when we trust that God is in control of every detail of our lives, we begin to see how He orchestrates the circumstances to help us. A sudden change in plans that turns out for the better, a conversation that leads to a breakthrough, or even a calm heart in the midst of chaos. These are signs of God's daily intervention. The more we recognize these small miracles, the more we begin to see the larger picture of God's care and love for us. Sometimes divine intervention is protective. How many times have we narrowly avoided danger without even knowing it? Maybe you've taken a different route to work that saved you from a traffic accident, found yourself in the right place at the right time to help someone in need. These are moments where God's unseen hand guides us, keeps us safe, and ensures that we're not alone in the trials we face. Protection isn't always about preventing harm. It can also be the strength to face challenges with courage and grace. God's protection is not always about sparing us from hardship, but rather providing the strength, wisdom, and peace we need to navigate through difficult times. To truly recognize God's daily intervention, we must cultivate a heart of faith. It is easy to become consumed with the demands of life and miss the quiet moments where God is speaking, guiding, or blessing us. However, when we intentionally choose to be aware of God's presence, we begin to see His fingerprints all over our lives. Faith is not just about believing in God's ability to perform miracles. It's about trusting that He is actively involved in our lives, guiding and shaping every moment. This trust helps us notice God's hand in our lives, whether through a chance encounter, an answered prayer, or even the peace we feel when facing an uncertain future. As we begin to recognize the miracles in our everyday lives, our natural response should be one of gratitude. God is constantly working behind the scenes, and when we take time to reflect on these small interventions, it reminds us of His goodness and faithfulness. Each miracle, no matter how small, is a testament to his love for us and his constant desire to bless, guide, and protect us. Gratitude opens our hearts to see more of God's work in our lives. When we acknowledge and thank God for the everyday miracles, we deepen our relationship with him and grow in our faith. Miracles are not just reserved for the extraordinary moments in life. God's daily intervention is happening all around us in the small moments, the quiet blessing, and the hidden protection. By recognizing these daily miracles, we grow in our understanding of God's presence in our lives and strengthen our faith. The next time you face a challenge or experience an unexpected blessing, take a moment to pause and recognize God's hand at work. These everyday miracles are a reminder that he is always with us, guiding, protecting, and loving us through every step of our journey.